Good morning, everybody. Welcome to car park walk blog. Our beaches are closed at the moment, so I'm having to do my beach walk blogs in different places, and today it's coming to you from this car park. It's only going to be a short one because I want to pose a question, and this question is, why are runners not getting gait analyses? Why are you not getting your gait analysed? Why are you not having a gait analysis? Now, I'm not talking about one of those things that you do or things that you get at a running shop. That's not a gait analysis. That's a shoe sales pitched to say to you, buy this shoe, buy this shoe. It's not a gait analysis because they're not looking at your gait. They're looking at your feet, and your feet literally tell you about 10% of the story. You need to look at the whole body. You need to look at it from head to toe, and you need to look at it from at least the rear and the sideways on views. Whatever you do, a gait analysis is not just looking at the feet. People have this, runners have this kind of weird infatuation almost with, I'm a pronator, I'm a supinator. Yeah, well, we all are. That's a natural movement of the foot and ankle. Pronation and supination are very natural movements of the foot and ankle. They're not a classification. It's I pronate, I supinate. Yeah, you do. Of course you do. Everybody does. So, like I said, gait analysis is the first thing that you should be doing when you decide that you want to become a runner. It's also the first thing that you should be doing when you start to have niggles. It's the first thing that you should be doing, not the last thing. So many runners spend their time perpetually injured in this injury cycle. Injured, niggles, and it's like, they come to me and I say, so you've had a gait analysis? And they go, no. And I say, well, why? They go, well, because I haven't. Well, that's the first thing you should be doing, not the last thing. It's not the last thing. Definitely shouldn't be the last thing. It should be the first thing, because that is an analysis of how you run. It's an analysis of how you run. It's an analysis of how you load your body when you run. And trying to decide what your body is doing or why your body is doing it is what we do when we do a gait analysis. And like I said, your feet are only 10% of that equation. If you're not looking at what's going on above the knees and, well, really above the hips and in the torso, and looking at the body from top to bottom, you are going to be guessing forever. So, please stop guessing. Please stop guessing. Please stop stretching and doing these kind of arbitrary things that are just basically, it's like having a blindfold on and trying to pin the tail on the donkey. These things they're just guessing. You're just taking a stab in the dark. And yeah, you might get lucky. You might get a little bit lucky. And you might get a little bit of relief with some movement in a different way. But the chances are you're not going to get lucky, because lucky is not something that happens a lot. That's why it's called luck. You're not going to get lucky, and you're not going to get a long-term fix because you haven't done a gait analysis and you don't know why you're moving the way you're moving, or why your body is loading the way it's loading. I've said this a lot of times, that your feet are at the mercy of everything that's going on above. Your feet have to land in a certain way according to the way your body is moving, the rest of your body is moving, and the way that the force that your body is encountering and generating. So it's action reaction. It's your feet are landing relative to all of those forces and movements, and your feet land where they land in order to stop you from face planting. All right. So if your body is moving in a way that is not really conducive to feet landing in a good place underneath you, then don't try and fix that with an orthotic or with a shoe that's meant for quote unquote overpronators, because that's absolute nonsense. That it's such nonsense that it's crazy to think that I'm going to just stop my foot from moving in a certain way, which is going to fix everything else, when it's the everything else that is the cause of the foot landing and having to move in that way, right? It's putting the cart before the horse. So we need to stop that. We need to stop doing these things. We need to change. We need to change our actions so that we change our reactions, and that applies not just to the things that we're doing, but it's also the things that we're thinking. Right? Stop telling other runners, oh, just stretch or just do some strength training, because bicep curls are strength training for what? For the biceps. They're not strength training anything else. So we have to change the way that we're talking and the information that we're giving. We have to change these things in order to not only help ourselves, but to help other runners. Because if I say to you, you need to just go and do some strength training, what does that mean? What does that mean if it's not specific? Okay, because like I just said, bicep curls are strength training, but are they going to affect my pronation? Are they going to affect my supination? Are they going to affect my internal rotation, my adduction, my abduction, my hip movements, my pelvis movements, my torso rotation? No, they're not. So let's get specific. And the reason why people are not with me on this is because you are the one who's perpetuating this nonsense. If you are not with me on this, then you are a part of the problem, because you probably feel quite called out. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you feeling called out, because you're a part of the problem. Be specific. If you say to somebody, go and do some strength training, and your strength training involves squats, you have to understand exactly what you are doing when you squat. You are squatting. You're not doing anything else. You are squatting. That is not the movement of gait in any way, shape or form. It's not the movement of gait. So you're not strengthening anything involved in gait. Okay? Understand that. Understand what you are doing when you do a movement. Okay? If squats were strengthening the gait action, then gait would be strengthening the squat. Think about it. It has to work both ways, and we know that it doesn't. So if it doesn't work both ways, it doesn't work either way. Okay? So let's get better. Let's get better. We're still in January 2023. We've got a long way to go in this year. Let's try and make this year better. And we can, because we can stop doing things the way that we've always done them. We can start by understanding that the things that people say often are nonsense. They're bad advice. It's not just bad advice, it's actually contradictory advice. It's contradictory words of advice. It's going to lead somebody the wrong way. It's going to take you north when you want to go south, or it's going to take you south when you want to go north. Right? Think about it. You're not even helping somebody. You're actually hindering them. And you are not being helped, you're being hindered. If these are the things that you're doing. If you're not doing a gait analysis, you're guessing. You're absolutely guessing. And that guessing is just pointless. It's not helping you, it's not helping anybody else. Now, for the people that are doing quote unquote gait analyses, you need to get better. This is a call out of the people that are doing gait analyses. You need to get better. You need to understand that the body is a three-dimensional, multi-plane moving organism. It's not two-plane movement. Our goal is to produce forward locomotion. If I'm not producing forward locomotion, I'm going to get movements in the other planes of motion. Okay, so if I'm not producing an action that drives me forwards while I'm on the ground, I'm going to get lateral movement. I'm going to get hip drops. Okay, now you can't fix a hip drop by working on the hip, because it's not an action at the hip that's causing the problem. Right? These are things that you need to think about, that you need to know and you need to understand. There's too many people that are getting this wrong, really badly wrong. Now, if you're not looking at posture and how your body is held as you run, and you think that doing squats with a weighted bar on your shoulders is going to fix it, you need to change. You need to figure this out. You need to listen, you need to learn, you need to understand, and you need to get better. Now, if you feel attacked by what I'm saying here, good. I'm glad, because I want you to change and I want you to be better. Because I went through all this when I was injured. Nobody helped me. Nobody got me to where I am now. I did it. So I know that this can change. I know that this can get better. I want you to get better. I want you to be better at what you do to get results with runners, better than what you do now. And I know you can do it. And I know every single runner out there deserves the best. They deserve that advice to be better. Okay? I'm going to leave it there, because I want this to be short, sharp, and I want it to hurt. I want this to be effective. Gait analysis. You must get a gait analysis, because without it, you are blindfolded in the dark trying to pin the tail on a donkey. You're guessing. You've got no idea what's going on, and you've got no idea the reason why you're doing what you're doing. You are just guessing. Okay? That is beach walk / car park walk blog number whatever it is. Let's change and be better.